Hi, good morning, guys. Welcome to the channel. I'm getting ready to work, and before I go to work, yesterday I noticed by my lettuce that slugs are eating my lettuce, and so I have non-alcoholic beer on hand. I'm going to see if these slugs just like beer, if they're drunks, if they're just after the alcohol, the fermentation smell of it, or if it's the beer themselves. But that's what I had on hand. I didn't feel like going out and buying a tall boy or anything like that just for this. So, let's see. This was the trap. See, I've got, where's the lettuce, damn it? See, all in there. Something's eating those leaves. I don't have any slugs in there right now. I'm gonna leave this one out. I'll probably end up picking up a tall boy tonight and making a side-by-side comparison. You know what, since I already got the non-alcoholic beer out, maybe I could pick up like a Pilsner, an ale, and a lager, since those are like the three most common, especially like Pilsner and lager. You can get those pretty cheap, you know. I'm toasting the slugs, not my friends, so they can have the cheap crap. So, but that might be a good experiment to see which one actually traps better, especially if the price point are the same on cheap beer. Like you could get Old Milwaukee and Keystone, Hams. All right, I'm getting ready for work. I forgot to film this. It's been kind of a whirlwind of a day. My one brain cell's having a hard time keeping up with the many different things happening today. But it's been 2 days since my last little short thing I did about the non-alcoholic beer out there. Been 2 days, no slugs, more leaves missing on my leaves. So I went and got, I had to do an emergency cheese run anyway at the DG. And I just picked up one Miller Lite, filled it up, and I won't let the rest go to waste. But yeah, so we're going to try the Miller Lite, see how the slugs like that. Good morning. We have a Walter helping us this morning. He's going to help us plant some flower seeds today. Here, I thought I lost this box, and I found it. So good. Good. Because, yeah, I'm still trying to have stuff grow here that I actually want to grow here instead of stuff that I don't. I don't mind the hairy buttercups and stuff so much, but I just don't want them to take over. They just get too tall. So, and then eventually I want to keep expanding more beds in here, more places for actual stuff, other stuff to grow, you know, more spaces like that or that. But first I was distracted. I wanted to talk to you about the beer trap. This morning I checked and there's nothing in there. Yesterday I checked and there was nothing, like I said. So, I put the beer trap down here. You know, the past few nights have been pretty cold, so maybe the slugs just aren't out doing their thing because of it being cold. So, I don't know. We'll just move it down there for tonight and see what happens. But I have no more leaves missing on the lettuce, so that's a good thing. These pole beans, I believe these are the black zebra, something like that. I'm having to start to tuck them in the fence there, so that's cool. I'm just going to do a little bit of that. I'm going to have them growing along here, and then I put cow peas along the side, and then Virginia gave me some Malibu seeds, and I looked them up, and so I'm excited to have those two along with my, like, homestead area legume collection, I guess, and tomatoes. Oh, so speaking of which, I went ahead and ordered the Hopkins Revolutionary tomato and the Pennyroyal cowpea, so those should be coming soon, so I'll be able to plant those out here, sneak them in here places too. Probably more so out there. I'll be sneaking stuff in, which I got to get down there and start working, but I wanted to do some more in here before I went down there. I went ahead and planted some contender bush beans in here and some Hutterite, supposed to be bush soup beans in there, but then I read some comments, and it's not just from one company, it's across the board. These are excellent beans that taste really good and from dry cook up in 2 hours, and they're supposed to be like awesome tasting. So I'm excited to try them. But some people say they're bush and some people say they're pole, so I might be building a teepee here. And I might not be. I also stuck some Hutterite beans in here, which, so if they are pole, that's fine, because I'm going to get the cattle panel here real shortly anyway. If they're bush, they'll be just fine anyway. And over here I threw some contender in to add nitrogen into the soil, and also more crops per square foot. So how's this stuff over here doing? See, this was in with my Monarda Bradburyana seeds, but I'm not sure what that is, so I still need to ID that. I did notice from Vermont Wildflowers that some of their stuff did come up as mixed seed. Most likely it's unintentional, but I kind of look at it like you get a surprise with it. So it's not a bad thing, but what is it? Or is it a bad thing? I'm not sure yet. It's probably not a bad thing. I just need to look it up and see what it is. But I posted on Facebook earlier that I couldn't find my box of flower seeds, so I found them, and I'm gonna put those Malibu beans out here and some flower seeds. Honestly, I thought I was going to make a whole video dedicated to a beer slug trap and do they need the alcohol or do they not. I have no conclusions drawn at this time, and so I don't really feel like holding on to this video long term just to make one simple video about that. So we'll just do it vlog style again. Seems to work out pretty good for me most times. I'm gonna get to sowing some seeds, guys, so I'll just keep you updated with any findings that I have. Hello, so today I did a bunch of weeding and planting out flower seeds all around the in-ground garden, the pool garden, and down by the mailbox, up here by the steps, and this little, in the chimney area up here where the canna lilies are, in the back, along the house, by the HVAC unit. I've just been trying to make things easier before summer hits for mowing and whatnot. I know my neighbor will spray for maintenance and whatnot, and that's helpful, I guess, if we're not doing anything down there to maintain the mailbox area. But there's a big patch of red clover down there that's gorgeous, and don't spray that. It's good for nitrogen and good for the pollinators, and it's beautiful and it's in bloom, so I want to keep that. So I put the Veronica down there, some creeping thyme. I put creeping thyme all around the houses, you know, where I knew it would be sun tolerant. And then I moved some down by the mailbox, some oregano down by the mailbox. I figured that'll take over nicely down there. So maybe that'll fill in, and then they won't feel the need to spray so much. But yeah, I'm ready to sit the rest of the day. I never intended to get so involved with plant work today, but I did. I planted sunflowers, black, not black cone flower, it's the other one. Basket flower, or not basket flower, it's not straw flower, it's, listen, it's that one. And it's black. And then I had at a seed swap, the home, Heartland Homesteaders pickup. I had a sunflower seed mix, some marigold mixes. It seems like everybody's got marigold mixes, so I felt free to spread those seeds in a lot of cracks and crevices too. Zinnia seeds, I think I planted some more. Yeah, I planted some more out. Now I need to plant some more zinnias out. I found more seeds. I found my purple print seeds, so I'm excited. I planted the candy stripe and cut and come again. Or not cut and come again, it was the Giant California mix. That's what it is. So, I'm itchy from weeds and stuff. I'm going to get off here and really relax for the rest of the night. Get in the shower, get this itch off me, eat some food, call it a night. I love you and so does Jesus. God bless y'all and your hair looks nice.